What is good, everyone? It is Oscar here. Welcome back to Geoguessr Explained. Today is the Indonesia special. We're doing Diverse World, then Indonesia. You can play both in the description before I play, as well as tomorrow's episodes as well. Find them both down there, and let's get straight into things here, where I'll be explaining exactly how I'm getting so close and that kind of thing. Okay, first one here, we are looking at somewhere in the United States. We know that because we've got yellows in the center here. It feels quite dry. These hills in the background are dry, which you wouldn't really see in Canada very often at all. And then also just this extremely wide road, and the American flag here, which is definitely helping out. Okay, so apart from that, then we have to work out where we are. 8438 area code is probably very helpful because we're in the western states here, probably with these dry hills, which means that the area codes definitely like cover a wider area. This highway sign, I don't know either. 87, so I'm not really sure which state that would be. Kind of looks like a beehive almost, so we'll try and remember that at the end of today's round. But yeah, okay. We do have some front plates here, some without. Definitely doesn't feel that like warm, but also like or that like cold either. I don't know. It feels like kind of like a neutral kind of climate here. Yeah, not really too sure to be honest. So with all that being said, we're going to go western here, and we're going to go fairly western. I was thinking maybe just Idaho as a decent shout here, but yeah, I mean, we have a lot of trucks, which definitely reminds me of up this area somewhere. Maybe like halfway to Butte, Dillon, that kind of area. Also, definitely considering that Oregon and Washington are well possible here as well. Honestly, I don't really know, so I'm just going to go here. We'll find out. And actually was in Utah there, which definitely makes sense. A bunch of people getting it correct there, so well done if you did. But yeah, I guess with town name there and area code, that's good. But Utah has the beehive. How can we remember that? Yeah, I guess we could remember that like the Big Salt Lake is kind of like the entrance to the beehive. If we were imagining that the state of Utah was the beehive, so I don't know. That's my way of remembering it. We'll see if I remember it next time I see it. Comment if you see me miss it. Okay, next one here should be somewhere in Indonesia based on this flag. Yellow center line here would also mean Indonesia over Malaysia, if you're not confusing the both of them, and they have black plates as well. You can see this one kind of looks white because it's got 3 sections of white writing on it. So yeah, but yeah, you can see it's black. Okay, so we've got like some rice fields here, certainly, or like at least some cornfields, certainly feeling like some places more than others. Really tall pole top here. That would have reminded me probably of like Java or Sumatra, although I couldn't really tell you exactly why. Anything else to say here? Quite a lot of banana plants. I definitely like Sumatra here, I think. This like kind of crazy pole top feels good. Also, this like kind of like wiring or this kind of like metal sheet over the top also does feel Sumatra, although I'm not really sure whereabouts. So yeah, we'll try Sumatra here. Not really sure if that's going to be correct or not. I mean, the lack of tiled roofs here would basically make Java quite unlikely. Although we do have some roofs that kind of look a bit tiled here. I still don't really prefer it. So yeah, probably like West Sumatra, North Sumatra kind of toss up here in my opinion. Although it could be elsewhere as well. We'll test it out here. And it was actually Central Java here. Just an absurd number of an absurd number of buildings without any tiled roofs. Generally speaking, you would not see that. But okay, that was probably just a Central Java pole top, which I didn't know. As I said, this is the Indonesia special, so we're about to head into about a bunch of other Indonesia, which I hope I can help you with. Okay, so we have some triangular style signs here, so obviously it won't be like the Americas, because they would use a yellow diamond. We have Chinese here as well. This is Chinese characters. Apart from that, I have white outer lines here, and it's very rural. So with this, I would say this is either going to be Taiwan or Hong Kong with that language, and with this car driving right here, it would appear. So maybe Taiwan's more likely. And this kind of overgrown tropical kind of vegetation. So yeah, I think we should probably go for Taiwan here. Given that that it's not really clear what side of the road we're driving on, it could be left and like the person's just going right for a little bit more clearance. This could still be somewhere in Hong Kong. Honestly, vibes-wise, I preferred Hong Kong, but I think given that it looks kind of right-hand drive, we have to go there. In which case, I'll go near Taipei here. And it was actually Hong Kong. That definitely makes sense. And we head through to the next round here. Okay. And just a bit of bait there. You can't always trust the direction of travel. Sometimes going for vibes is better. Clearly, in that situation, it would have been. Okay, next one here is fairly generic Japan. We've got low camera here, so epically wide blur with these kind of nibs on the end. That's Japanese low camera in Generation 3. We have red roofs here. Red roofs are typically associated with around Hiroshima, or at least in this kind of peninsula here. And it definitely feels like a good landscape for that. I do, however, wonder with kind of this the way it's so bright red, if that's not quite right. Often it's a bit of like an orangish red in Hiroshima. I think I'll still guess that anyway, though. Do we see anything else? We have one of those like power company things. Not really that useful in my opinion here. Don't really see anything that would give it us one way or the other. So I'm going to go for Hiroshima here. And it was actually over here. Kind of crazy in Fukushima there. Fabi just pulling an absolutely insane game right now. But okay, let's head into the next one here. And what are we looking at here? .es. No, not .es, just ends with ES. I think it's going to be Spain anyway, though. Okay, here's a good thing. So we have a flat signpost here, as I've said before in the series. That should equal Portugal, Spain, France. And then we have these like kind of big wheelie bins here that are kind of big tubs. That's really common to see in like Spain, Greece, kind of Mediterranean Europe. So what else do we see here? This is probably specific. I feel like that might be like a Barcelona thing. I don't know if that's actually true or not. We see area codes, which are very helpful in Spain. I don't know mine, unfortunately, but definitely can be worth learning. And then also, this is a Spanish sign, where it's like red all the way to the edge, like the red completely covers the edge. So you do see similar signs elsewhere, but like with the flat signpost and that type of sign, should be somewhere in Spain. Okay, so given that's the case, we're looking out into the city here. I would say Barcelona feels good. Could be Madrid, and it is just on the other side of the country, indeed. In Badajoz there, which is interesting. 15,000 points there. Obviously, kind of a terrible seed. Definitely missing the Taiwan, like Hong Kong 50-50 definitely hurt us. But apart from that, what can you say? It was pretty good. And let's head down here on the leaderboards and check out some people how they did as well. And what? Why can't I click this? Okay, finally works. And guys, I would say give the video a like if you're enjoying the channel. I hope you guys are. And let's check this out, see how we are going here. So we're still with people who are higher than me. Okay, that's pretty disgraceful. The Indonesia, I don't really know how I missed. I don't know, it's just so many roofs that were wrong. So okay, we're finally here down at 200. Obviously, I'm not really going to be able to feel too confident teaching people who did almost as well as I did. But okay, these are our two subjects for today, Jolie Legal, and we got KVK. Okay, so as for those two, let's see how they did. And they actually both went in Upper Asia here, Korea and Japan on this round. So it would be low cam if it was in Japan, whereas we didn't have low cam in Hong Kong there. And then also, like, Korean language just looks different. If you're ever unsure about the language, just go into the map, check it out, because obviously Korean has that different format where it's like normally one character on top of another one, or with the circles or something like that. So yeah, you can always check that out on the map if you're unsure. You have plenty of time. One person got Japan, the other person going in Serbia there. I kind of just went here because I wanted to see if it would be right with the roofs. Definitely, like, it's more of a dark orange roof that's common around here, but yeah, I don't really know if I could have gotten that close anyway. As for this guess over here, those yellow things that we had, those yellow stickers on the poles, would definitely exclude you from going Europe. That should just be somewhere in Korea, Japan, or Taiwan, and the one we had in that round was specifically Japanese. Okay, Spain they both got, which is definitely understandable. The US, we had a Utah guess correctly there, which is really good. We had Idaho, and then we had Florida. Now, Florida is a bad guess because you would never have a hill in Florida. Florida's completely flat, so yeah, don't worry about, if you see a dry hill, definitely don't worry about guessing there, let alone anywhere in the East Coast. With those dry hills, should just be somewhere out west where we can see it gets dry on the map. Okay, that is about it for that seed. Let's head through to Indonesia. Hopefully my guesses this time are a bit better than the last time. And let's get it here. Okay, so some white stickers here. I wonder if that's helpful at all. Doesn't probably appear to be, but we'll see. Okay, so this is good. We actually do have some concrete information here. These long support beams on the top of poles should be found in the nooses here, anywhere from Bali all the way down to Timor. So that's that kind of area. Is there anything else to say here? Not too much. It's very dry, and so the drier it is, the further east you should guess. So I'd say Timor or East Nooses here are the most likely. Being as how we have like kind of a cove to the south here, I guess something like this could make sense, or something like that. Otherwise, do we have any good coves on the south here? Seems like Timor doesn't. So that at least means I'm pretty confident going over here. Maybe even West Nooses is possible here. And it was actually Lombok, which is kind of strange to me. Definitely very dry for Lombok. Normally it would be a bit greener, but it's okay. We got the right kind of area. Next one here, white car. We have concrete poles here, A-frame, interesting. Round poles, should always be round poles in Indonesia. We have tiled roofs here. When you see tiled roofs, should be somewhere like Bali, Java, South Sumatra, Lampung, maybe some weird stuff, South Kalimantan or South Sula, but yeah, generally speaking, that should be on Java most times. Yeah, these tiles are very small though. Oftentimes, small tiles could be more of like a thing up here, so I am a little bit worried that we could be there. We have a lot of palms as well, so I'm actually thinking of Sulawesi here. Is that actually wise though? Given that we don't have any pole tops, it is a bit of a scary round because we do have like very small tiles in a way I would associate more with like kind of elsewhere. Not to mention the number of palms here, which is definitely immense. We have a lot of palms. So I don't really know here what the best guess is. I think I still have to trust the rules and go Java. But can certainly see this being quite a wrong guess. So we'll find out here. Near Central Java, and it was just on Bali. That makes sense. But definitely those tiles feeling a bit weird, in my opinion. And we'll head through to the next round here. Okay, here is a nice one. We have 2 metas here, which can instantly give us the island. Number 1, we have these shrines on the roof. Now, you can see this on Bali, but most times when you see these particular shrines, that will be somewhere in Bali. What did I say? You can see that on Java as well, but it should be always be on Bali when you see these shrines. We also have these kind of symmetrical poles with the square at the bottom. We can see it better on this direction. It's got a square sheet of metal like that, and that's only in Bali as well. And this is the absolute typical Balinesian crest. I don't think it's like a Buddhist thing. If it's not Buddhist, what would it be? I think it's Buddhist, right? I can't remember. But anyway, they worship something else. Then they're not Muslims on Bali. So yeah, that makes sense. And we'll go there and get that correct. Okay, so at least going okay here. Next one here, we have a meta for Java, which is this smooth antenna on the back of the car. That one should be found all over the island, but particularly in East Java and particularly even Madura Island. I quite like Madura Island here just because of the landscape as well. Kind of feels a bit poor, but we also have tiled roofs everywhere. I don't know, kind of dusty as well. I feel like that is a good vibe, but it should be somewhere around there. Anyway, that's all you need to say there. It was actually Central Java, so not terrible, but not that great either. Okay, next one here, black car. Whenever you see black car, definitely consider somewhere in Sulawesi, because most of the black car in Indonesia is in Sulawesi. Can give you a nice free good guess. This kind of thing on the side of the pole, this kind of add-on thing is quite common in Sula, and maybe like, is it South Sumatra or North Sumatra? I can't remember which, but like one half of Sumatra also has it quite a lot. But yeah, this should be Sulawesi. Also a lot of palms. So yeah, all adds up to Sulawesi in my opinion here. We also do have like relatively long support beams here. These ones aren't quite as long as the Nusa ones. So yeah. Okay. Given that that's the case and we have Ocean South here, I was kind of thinking of just guessing up here because we have so many palms, but yeah, it can be anywhere on Sulawesi in my opinion here. And we are decently close there, ends up being over there. Interesting guesses from some of the people on these challenges today. But okay, 13,000 points is a decent result for Indonesia. They were always in the right direction there, so let's see how everyone did and see what's going on. Okay, so we're actually fairly far down here. A lot of people with better guesses than us. I think our Java hedges just weren't the best there. That's probably why we ended up a little bit further down, but ultimately these days, a lot of Indonesia metas are pretty known. So I don't really think there's too much to say. I'll just grab someone here. Let's go for Illumi Liu, who got 6,000 points. So good guess on the nooses, probably near the pole. As for this one, just remember the abundance of palms plus that black car, definitely going to make Sulawesi likely. Then we had the Balinesian shrines here. We had the antenna for Java or Madura here. And then we also had we had a really good guess there for the Central Java one. And then for... yeah, I think that's it. And then just remember, like, Javanese roofs for this one. Okay, that is about it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Smash like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you learned some Indonesia today, and in the following episodes you can learn some more countries. Alright, till next time, guys, and goodbye.